Hey, so today I finally had some time to look at this MacBook Air that I've had since 2013. Uh, it's a great laptop. The only issue that I have now is that when you try to boot it, it will stay on a reboot loop. And I've tried to get Apple fixing it, but they didn't really give me any option. Like they couldn't handle it because it's an old model, so they sent me to a third party, and the third party didn't really have a solution. Like they offered me to change the logic board that almost costs us buying a second hand of the same one. It was, I don't remember, like 600 euros or something like that. And I really think it should be related to the power module of the logic board. Maybe it will be capacitors. I've seen on the internet that some people have issues with tracks which burn out eventually. That's bad design, Apple, by the way. And so I'm gonna try it. I found the schematics for this model. I will show you where. Let's see if it works or not. First thing first, I need to connect the battery again, because last time I was investigating the issue, I ended up not having enough time to really dig into it, and so I decided to disconnect the battery, and the battery is disconnected now. And I also left the internal disk outside so I could get some of my files in this computer. I got an adapter for that, and it was okay. It wasn't a great adapter. My recommendation always, if you are removing screws, try to keep them in order. And I use some bolts, that's fine. The thing with the MacBook Air is that it is pretty easy to disassemble. Just a few screws and you will get access to the logic board and the battery and almost everything. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so I remove all the screws and I'm going to open it up. Okay, every time I didn't do it right the first time, but every time you are touching electronics, please make sure that you get rid of any static electricity. So touch the floor if it's a non-isolating floor, or anything metallic that is going to take your charge away. Okay, here it is. I hope you can see it. I'm going to put back the flash drive in place. There's a small screw here. This is not the right one. Okay, let's get it. Okay, so this is the one. Yeah, okay. SSD back in. And hopefully we are back in business. Hey, hello. And let's see if we get first the the issue reproducing. Yeah. So maybe the first time it will not happen. Then, yeah, there it is. Very easy to reproduce. Something that I notice is, for example, if I cool the motherboard a lot, like you put the computer on the fridge, and then you put it, it will stay up for a long time. And I guarantee you it's not the battery. Apple doesn't write any component designators on the board because, well, honestly, they don't have space. They have some, so they could really put some that would be very helpful, but they don't do it. So what I'm using is this software. Oops. So I'm using to view the board this software. It's open source. You have it for any platform, and it's great. And it's just a viewer for the typical maintenance files that electronic manufacturers share. And I got the board files and the schematic files from this website, Apple Schematic in Sweden. I don't know who they are. But it works for me. I want to be able to fix my stuff, or other people to be able to fix it, even if Apple is not going to handle it for me. So here you can get the schematics, and you can get the board files. Okay. And if we go into the schematics, I'm going to show you my suspects. Here, primary suspects. This is how the schematic looks like. It has like 109 pages. It's very big, but everything you see here and behind, it's explained in this schematic. This is the third page, and here is where I suspect this is the power system architecture. So they have the AC adapter, the battery charger, that really continues in another page. So it's not a block, it's a page. And well, not a page. I'm not sure what this means. Maybe that page 53 contains more information about the connections of this component. But what we see is that we have the charger. I think the charger is okay because I've tried with the battery and without the battery, with the charger connector, with the charger not connected, all the possibilities, and it keeps happening. So about suspects, so if we see this schematic, you will see that there are there's like the main power from the battery or the charger, and it comes. You can get the power directly from the charger, or you can get the battery from the battery. It has a fuse here in the middle, for just in case things go very wrong, and a couple of diodes that fit into the system. So there are like a lot of different powers that the system has, like 1 0.05 volts in one side. They have 1.5 volts here. They have 5 volts, 5 volts here, 3.3. So they have hundreds and hundreds. And I noticed that they have so they monitor every voltage during operation, and everything lands into this all system power good signal that it's fed into the SMC, like the main controller for power, and that is probably going to generate like system reset. You can see it here. If you see the signal is a reset and goes into sys reset and all those pages. So my suspicion is that something is broken in the power side of things. Maybe a capacitor, maybe a track, I don't know. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to try correlate the in yes, those are coils. The disconnector and power. Okay, let's calculate that power signal first. So we find this side of the board. I will do everything from side to second. I'm going to get you guys a little bit. This much a second. Okay. I'm going to get this board. Right. So we have this here, this coil, this inductor. So we have here, and we have here is components, not soldered, and here they are. So right there, this is like this one transistor, which is not soldered. Oh, nice. This one this one round, bucket. Also soldered. Okay. And this is very very covered in oil and here with another here. Is it like in the I see now. So let's try to zoom in as much as we can. So this signal can be found here. Okay, I will need to solder a tiny wire in there. Let me find. Yeah. Going to grab my soldering iron around here. Scary. Going to solder on my laptop. Okay, we'll switch it on. And I normally, for this kind of thing, I use this kind of wire, which is very thin, like AWG30. So you can solder some wire in there. You have to be careful not to pull the pad apart, but it will give you like a good connection to your Okay, so wait a second, let's stop here. After tracking many power signals, trying to correlate with the power good signal, it looked to me like nothing was bringing down power good, which was my first suspicion. But when I unplug the trackpad cable that goes with the keyboard cable, everything started working magically, and I thought like, okay, so can that be the trackpad? No, it didn't make any sense. But can that be the keyboard? And I thought, oh, okay, so maybe the power button has some kind of dirt in it, and is like contacting. Most of the time when I click, somehow it triggers the power, but it's still contacting afterwards. So I tried without the keyboard itself, and magically everything started working. So this is what happens when you start MacBook Air and you keep the power button pressed. Maybe it will remind you of something. Oops. Oh. And you try to put again, and the power button is half pressed. Oh, it's putting. Wait, I'm going to put. Oh. So that was it. So I will show you how did I fix the keyboard of my MacBook Air, and everything works now. Okay, so from this part I have no more video, but I have some pictures. This is when it started working, and I'm not showing how hard it was to rip the broken keyboard apart. I will link a video for that. Look on the down. It was really hard. The keyboard is full of rivets, many of them broke. There are some tricks to it, but yeah, that's it. And many screws. To assemble it back, I really recommend you to put it on a flat surface and avoid making pressure on the screen. This is how I was putting back the rivets. For the broken rivets, I used some hot glue very carefully. Don't put glue inside any key or you will ruin your new keyboard. This is the backlight assembled again, everything assembled again. You have many videos for that. And this is how it was working finally. Thank you for watching this video. It's my first YouTube video where I'm on the camera. I tried not to make it super boring. I know that some of the parts are really boring. So sorry about that, but thank you for watching. I hope this helped you.